Josh is right. I've known him a really long time. And basically what he said without actually saying it is that I'm old. Like, I'm almost old enough that I'm not cool enough to hang out with you guys. And that is why I'm wearing these sunglasses indoors. Because I literally had to make myself believe that I was cool enough to hang out with you guys. So I threw these on, and Tyler just said that I look like a really like another old guy that you guys probably don't know by the name of Elton John. Like probably one of the greatest musicians to ever live. And so that's a great compliment, but again, it says that I'm old. So I think the theme here is that I'm old. As you can see, I'm also a guy in a wheelchair. I have something called cerebral palsy. And what cerebral palsy basically means is that my brain and my muscles, independent of each other, have ADD. And it's like they're like on a sugar high all the time, and they don't do what I tell them to do. Like to give a thumbs up like this, I have to actually say in my brain, give them a thumbs up, or it doesn't work. And so that's what cerebral palsy is. My muscles don't work the way that they should. And I have been in this chair for my entire life. And this is all I know. And there's some really, really cool benefits to that. As you can see, I can recline. So I don't have to be uncomfortable. I got all kinds of other stuff. I hope I don't screw up the camera shot. Tim's upstairs. Sorry, Tim, here we go. I've got headlights. So I don't know if they'll show up in here, but we're going to try. There we go. So I've got a few things that make my life interesting. And like Josh was talking about, I have permanent access to handicap parking when I can find a spot. How many of you guys in here got your license? Anybody? Let's see. How many are about to get their license? Okay, so how close are we? How close are we? All right, so it's coming. It's coming. You're going to get it soon. So let me just say this. You're about to get your license, and to the rest of you guys, just keep this in mind. If you see a guy in a wheelchair, keep in mind that the handicapped parking space is not actually for a guy like me. It's for people that are older than me, like your grandparents that are like on walkers and that kind of thing. Like, that's what those spaces are for. And that's why they're actually at the front of the buildings like Walmarts and that kind of stuff. And that kind of leads into what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. I know you guys just finished up Galatians 6. And Galatians 6 talks a lot about how we need to treat the people around us, right? Like it's all about sowing and reaping and carrying each other's loads. And basically what that means is that we all got stuff. Like I've got a wheelchair, you guys have got different stuff in your life that you're dealing with every day that nobody really knows about. and you think nobody really knows about it, but I will tell you from experience that somebody knows about it. At least one person knows about it, and that person is God. And sometimes I don't think we think about, in general, how big God is. Like we talk about that He made the heavens and the earth. Like if you've been in church, you've heard that. He made the heavens and the earth. He made the moon. He made the stars. He made all of it. You're like, yeah, I know all of this. But when I start thinking about how big God is, it's the small stuff that really catches me, because not only did God make the heavens and the earth, He also created the fart. Right? Everybody farts. We all do it. Ladies, I know you don't want to talk about it, but you do it. God created that. Why He created that, I don't know. I don't know why it's necessary. I personally believe that He created it to keep guys entertained. I think that's why He did it. Because guys are simple people, and it doesn't take much to entertain us. And so I really do. I think God created the fart just to show how big He is and to show that He can be entertaining at the same time. But let's go even smaller. Like you look around, like bugs, like all kinds of stuff. God did that. Like the whole thing is created. And I don't think that we really keep in mind how much God is in control. You know, Josh can say, you know, he sees what you're going through. If you're dealing with stuff at school, if you're dealing with stuff at home, Josh can say it all day long, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, man, this is hard. But the bottom line is that God decided when I was born that I was going to be in this chair for my entire life. I was born 3 weeks early. I've never walked. I've never done some of the stuff that you guys do every day. Like, this is all I know. And it's because God decided this is the way it's going to be. And personally, I believe that He and I must have had a discussion before I was born. And He was like, yo, man, this is kind of what I'm thinking about. And He's like, I'm thinking about putting you in this chair, and it's going to probably kind of really suck sometimes. But I'm thinking about doing it to see if you can pull it off. And knowing myself the way that I do, I said, yeah, I could do that. And so that's how I think I ended up here. And what it has taught me is that God is in control of every single circumstance. You guys, I have a house down the street, about 5 minutes down the street, and Peyton, who's here with me, works with me during the week, and with his help, I live by myself, and I have only been out of my parents' house for about the last 3 years, so I'm almost 47, so I moved out when I was about 42, 43. Just for future reference, you should move out a lot sooner than that. By the time I got ready to move out, my dad was like, please, God, let this work. He's got to move. I can't do this. So yeah, I'm finally moved into my own house, and with Peyton's help, I get to have something that resembles a normal life, although there's nothing really normal about it. It's something different every single day. But one thing that living in that house has forced me to do is to realize that from the time that I get up in the morning to the time that I go to bed at night, if God's not there, I got no shot. Like, I had no chance. Like, Peyton that works for me, he has helped me with a lot of things. Like, I have this great outfit, and he had to help me put that together. He had to help me get dressed. He had to help me shower. He had to help me do everything. And if he wakes up one day and says, I don't want to go to work, I'm stuck, right? So I'm totally and completely reliant on God, whether I want to be or not. You guys have it a little different because you guys have a choice. And this is where it gets complicated. And I know Daryl has talked about it quite a bit because I've been coming here for a little bit. But you guys have a choice whether to allow God to minister in your life or try and do things your own way. And as a guy that used to be your age, I know that you kind of, sometimes it gets a little hard to keep track of the fact that God is in everything. But He is. And sometimes we get a little obstinate, and sometimes we get a little cocky and like, yeah, I could do this. I could pull this off. I don't really need Him. Like, I got this figured out. School, sports, whatever it is. I got it. Well, whether you're, I know that sometimes you guys think that because I thought that. When I was in school and when I had different things going on, I thought that. And then you get into a situation that I'm in now, like just to live my everyday life, I gotta hope somebody like Peyton shows up for work every day, right? That requires you to concentrate on God and to focus on God and to know that He's there. And you guys have a little bit more of a choice as to whether to do that every day than I do. And I will tell you that even for me, it's a lot to have to constantly rely on God. I have a line that I tell people, and that is that I'm only allowed to do in my life what somebody else allows me to do, right? Like I'm here today, and I'm so happy to see you guys. So happy to be here because this is my favorite thing in the world to do. But if things hadn't lined up appropriately for me to be here, like I would be going down the road 6 miles an hour in my chair to get here. And I don't know if you guys realize how fast 6 miles an hour is, but I would have had to have started at like noon to get here by 7. So a lot of things have to line up for me to do something like come here tonight and talk to you guys. And when you rely on God that much, you start to realize that He has every single aspect of your life figured out. You know, you got that. you got that verse in the Bible that says, He knows every hair that's on your head. He knows every thought that you have. We think about that in church and we hear it and we go, yeah. I'm telling you right now, God is paying attention to every single thing that we do. And He might be looking at me right now going, man, those glasses look really bad. The glasses are not something that I consulted God on. So I'm glad that you guys dig them, because I did not actually ask Him if I should wear them tonight. So I'm glad they don't suck. But like, it really does boil down to that. He has everything. And I think the point of Galatians 6, feel free to help me out here, Josh. The point of Galatians 6 is to drive that home to us and to also make clear to us that there are people around that we are responsible for. All of you guys have friends. All of you guys have family and people that you're around. And I can tell you for a fact that there is somebody in your life watching what you're doing. And I don't mean that as a negative. Just as an example, I tell Peyton every time that we leave my house that he needs to walk out of the house with the appropriate attitude and walk out of the house with a smile on his face, because every time we leave the house, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to meet somebody, a person, somebody like you guys or somebody older, something like that. We're going to meet somebody that we've never met before and we'll probably never see again. And I have one shot to influence whoever that person is, right? And so either it's a good influence or it's like, man, I don't know what to think about that guy. And if you talk to my dad doesn't really see my benefit to speak as a good thing. My dad's like, Lord, I don't know why you gave him a mouth, because he hadn't shut up for 47 years. Like, it just goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. But like, people are always watching me. They're always paying attention. And so I always walk out with a smile on my face. And whether I feel good or not, I try to put out there to them that life is good, that I'm glad to be here, that, I see, and I know at your age, it's probably hard to think about, but like, this life that we have, we get one shot. We get one life. And if you know Jesus, it's an eternal life, and you get to spend it with Him. But we get one shot to do it right. And when you meet that person on the street or that person at school, what they see from you affects other aspects of their life. It affects how they think, what they feel. And I'm not telling you guys this to put pressure on you. What I'm trying to tell you is that you have way more influence in your life than you might believe that you do. And it's a big, big, big deal. And I really, despite the situation that I'm in, despite the chair, despite all the challenges that come with it. I love being me. I love being this guy. And some of you might have been here a couple of times on a Sunday morning when I opened my mouth when Daryl was right in the middle of a message, and there's like 250 people in this room. Like some of y'all might have seen that. I love being that guy. I love making people laugh. I love surprising people. I love, throwing people off and making them think, yo, what's up with that guy? That's kind of my whole thing. And I love being that guy. And that doesn't mean that my life is perfect. It doesn't mean that I don't have struggles. It doesn't mean that I don't get up in a bad mood some days. What it means is I know that God gave me this life, and I just want to make the most of it. And if you guys are struggling with school or home or whatever it is, I'm here to tell you that God has a plan for you. And it may not feel like it right now, but it is a cooler plan. It is a more awesome plan than you could ever imagine, right? Like, I'm not exactly where I wanted to be at 47 years old. That's, again, part of the reason I'm wearing this outfit, because I'm 47, which technically that's old. I'm trying to pass for like 30 because I still think I'm going to get famous. Like my life is good, but I still think God is going to let me get famous. He may or may not. But the point is that He has my entire life planned. He has your entire life planned. And He knows exactly what He wants us to do with these lives. And I think the problem that we as humans have is understanding that He has that plan and that it's better than anything that we can think of. And so if you're struggling at home or at school or wherever it is, I just want you to stop and think about the fact that He's paying attention all day, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. He's paying attention, and He has a plan for you. And I'm not done. Josh stands up because he doesn't know what I'm doing. But what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about kind of your life and kind of the things that you are dealing with. And I also want to answer some questions for you guys about how my life is, kind of what I deal with. Like, I'm in a wheelchair. I know you guys are around people in wheelchairs at school. You got different things going on. You may have questions that you always wanted to ask. Well, here I am. You can ask any question that you always wanted to ask, and I will answer it. So that's what we're going to do for the next little while. And I'm going to get Josh and maybe my buddy Drew over here to help me out with that. So, Josh, you want to come up?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up a chair. So that's all good stuff, dude. Thank you. So you guys have questions? Anything about how his life is, the struggles he deals with, how he keeps it out?
If my hair's good, do I need to change my haircut? Like, I'll even take that. Like, I'm looking for advice. What do you got?
What you got, Hannah?
Those are Amazon, $12. Hannah, right?
Yep.
How old are you, Hannah? 15. Very nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Who else?
Hannah. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15. 15
Come on, I know you guys got something. Come on. Yes. It doesn't. It probably should. But like I said, I've lived with this my whole life. And you kind of, like, before you even said it, I didn't even realize it. They just kind of do what they do. And I've learned to kind of deal with it. I have a feeling you're going to be a physical therapist or a nurse or something. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Violet.
That's a good question.
All right, go. Yes. Yes. You guys know about the pins in the feet? That's horrible. It's horrible. And it does happen. And oh, we need to talk about that. Okay, so cerebral palsy is different from being paralyzed. You may have met somebody who said that they were paralyzed. Well, being paralyzed means that you can't feel things in your body, certain parts of your body. I'm not paralyzed, and so I feel everything. I've got feeling. Everything works. It doesn't work the way I want it to work. Like, the legs and feet don't work the way I want them to work, but they do work, which is different from somebody who is paralyzed. So,
Fix your mic.
all right.
Grace.
All right. What hobbies? Okay. And you, Grace?
Grace.
Very nice to meet you, Grace. I have a video game podcast. I play video games a lot. I am an IT guy for a living, and I know some of you guys know that Josh is also an IT guy for a living, so I play with computers a lot. And I like music. I spent an hour and a half listening to music this afternoon, trying to keep myself cool and in a cool mental zen space, because I gotta be honest, I have not gotten to speak a lot recently, and I've spent the last week and a half telling myself that I was not going to be nervous in front of you guys. And so I had to put on some music a little earlier to just kind of chill out and be cool. But yeah, I like video games and music and TV, all the normal stuff. Go. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. Let me turn it around on you. What's your favorite video game? I like you. That's cool. That is not what I thought she was going to say Minecraft. I really thought she was going to say Minecraft. That's dope. Okay, so I like Zelda a lot. Zelda is one of my favorite franchises. I just watched through Metroid Prime 4. I don't know if you played Metroid, but yeah, I like Nintendo games a lot. Nintendo's good. I would have to say, okay. I'm fixing to show you guys how old I am, because the hour and a half of music that I spent this afternoon was Dave Matthews Band. Do anybody in here know who Dave Matthews Band is other than Josh? Okay, cool.
All the old folks in there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I love Dave Matthews Band. I've seen them twice. That's not the coolest thing to say in church, because they're not a Christian band. But I do have a favorite Christian band. I love Need to Breathe. They're my favorite Christian band by far. And it's really funny that you said it because Zelda's probably my favorite video game. I love that franchise. So, what do you got?
Emily.
It depends on the day. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. What's your favorite genre of music? See, there you go. I'm kind of the same way. I like country. I like alternative. I like it. It just depends on the day. They actually do not have different brightness things, although this is probably going to freak Tim out just a little bit. I have turn signals.
Nice.
So yeah, it's actually fully street legal. So when I made that joke about it taking 6 hours to get here, I actually could.
You could have done it.
Yeah. Go. 6 miles an hour. It literally will go, which by the way, if you're sitting in it, is really fast. Like it's hard to control going that fast, but it doesn't look that fast on the street. So, what else? What else? Any animal as a pet. That's interesting. I don't currently have any pets because my caregivers can barely take care of me, let alone a pet. So I don't currently have any pets. But you know what I would really like if I can pull it off? I love really big dogs. I only want one really big dog, but I would love a really big dog. I'll tell you what drives me crazy is the little small dogs. Everybody says a guy like you in a wheelchair should have a little small dog that can just sit in your lap. But what they don't tell you about the little small dog is they just all the time. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. So I want a big dog. Yeah, big dogs are cool. So while I'm thinking about this, Josh, help me out here, because I'm seeing that we have lots of ladies and not a lot of dudes. You ladies are cool. Did you do this on purpose? You throw the dudes out, not bring your boyfriends? Like what is this? Oh, they're okay. All right.
Not you, Jacob. Not you, Jason.
Okay, all right. So the guys are outnumbered. So now that I know that, boys, now we need to have a discussion because you're clearly outnumbered. What are we gonna have to do to get some more dudes in here? Cause like you gotta have some friends or something there. I mean,
we've been trying. They just don't do it.
All right. Well,
maybe they're trying to keep the ratio higher.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
I know.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. What else? Go. I think. Ooh, that's a good question. I really, honestly, I haven't really thought about it, but I think probably one of those dogs that doesn't realize how big it is. Like, it's so big that it doesn't realize how much space that it takes up, and it just like runs over things.
Like a full-size poodle.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
calls it a horse.
So what breed is he?
He's a standard.
Oh, awesome. Awesome, that's cool.
Yeah, I like the Tom. We got him on discount because he knew that.
That's cool.
Like, we got you on discount.
Well, I don't know if I will ever have a pet. I've been toying around with the idea that instead of having a pet, in a few years I might have a robot in my house instead of a pet, so that if somebody like Peyton doesn't show up for work, I can still have somebody to help me get out of bed. And so I may not get a dog, I may get a robot instead. Yeah. Hey, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
They do backflips, I heard.
Yes, they do.
That's funny.
Okay, what else?
Ian had a question.
My favorite Bible story. I gotta be honest, I'm a huge, and this is a bad thing to say because he wasn't a good dude, but I'm a huge fan of David. Don't ever, like, you need to be a better dude than David was, but I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret, and I've never told anybody this, but I read in the Bible every day, and I do quiet time every day, and in my prayer every day, I ask God to give me the wisdom of Solomon, the faith of Job, the perseverance of Paul, the boldness of Peter, and to make me a man after his own heart like David. If David had not been a man after God's own heart, he would have been totally screwed because he was not a good dude. Like, he was not a good dad. He was not a good father. He was not a good husband. He wasn't good at any of that stuff, but he was a man after God's own heart, which wiped all of that out. And I ask for that every single day. And I'm glad that you brought that up because me relying on God every day, the point I was trying to make, and I think I did a bad job of it, me relying on God every day is not easy. It's not, like, I don't wake up and go, God, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Every single day. Like, some days I wake up and go, dude, really? This is what we're doing? Like, I'm 47 years old. I should be a rock star. Like, this is kind of nuts. And so I struggle with some of that. I struggle with wanting the control that I don't have. And that's why I pray to be a man after God's own heart, because I know that's what I struggle with. Like, I honestly believe that God put me on this earth to be on a stage. Ever since I was 10 years old, I've closed my eyes and seen myself on a stage in front of 10, 20, 30,000 people. And here I am at 47, and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm like, bro, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any prettier. Like, if I lose this face, it's over. Like, I gotta be the girl before I lose this face or I'm screwed. Like, the face is all I've got. Like, this is it. And I can't lose it. Luckily, I look better than Josh, so that's good.
You got better hair for
Yeah, I do, absolutely. So yeah, I struggle with that a lot, which I don't really tell people because I learned a long time ago that if you look around and you meet people in wheelchairs, a lot of the times they are bitter about their situation and they feel like that they got screwed and they feel like that maybe they got robbed in some way. And I made up my mind a while ago that I didn't want to be that guy. Like there's enough of those people and I don't want to be that guy. But that doesn't mean that I don't have those private moments where I'm like, dude, this is not what I see when I close my eyes every day. Like, come on, man. And so when I pray, like I pray, it's because I have to every day to remember that He's in charge. Because honestly, like, I don't know if you guys have figured it out yet, but my body doesn't work the way I want it to. The brain works fine. And so I have like 8 zillion things that I want to go do. I want to travel. Like I got a passport 10 years ago, and my dad literally looked me in the face and goes, "What'd you do that for? You're not going anywhere?" And I was like, dude, there's a whole world out there. Like, I want to go see it, so I got a passport. And it was up a few months ago, so I got it renewed because I believe that God's going to let me use that, but it doesn't mean that I don't have rough days where I'm like, yo, this ain't right, you know? And I know you guys feel the same way. And so I don't want, as we wrap up, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm telling you that relying on God is easy. It's not. It's really hard. But if you can do it every day, if you can train yourself to do it every day, I promise that He has your best interest in mind. And man, I always feel like it. Trust me, from my perspective, it doesn't always feel like it. Like, I'm like, I didn't want to be, and I wish your wife was here because we could have this discussion. Hey, look, there she is. Okay. So I did not intend to still be single at 47. Like, I wanted marriage, kids, the whole thing, and I have wanted it since I was a little older than you guys, not much. And here I am at 47, still single. And there are benefits to being single, but that's one of those things where it's like, come on, dude, really? Like, and so it really is a struggle, and that's why I pray that way. Because I have to remind myself every day.
All right, so we got 2 minutes. I want to close out with something. I want to fix your mic one more time.
All right, cool.
Your sound guy didn't do a very good job of it.
Well, I think I'm going to have to get one custom made, seriously.
Yeah, well, I can
we're
help you with it.
Do
All right.
something.
So when we had lunch the other day, you and me and Tim and
Right?
Peyton was there. So I want to share this because this came to mind when I was driving back from lunch, and it's Romans 5, and I think this speaks a lot to your heart, just from what I know about you. So I just want to share it with you guys. So it's Romans 5, just starts in verse 1. It says, "Therefore, since we've been justified by faith, we have peace through God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Through Him, we've obtained access by faith into this grace in which we stand, and we rejoice in the hope of glory of God." And here's the cool part. Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who's been given to us. And I think, to me, knowing you and knowing your attitude and have known you or known about you for a long time,
Right.
I think even rejoicing in our sufferings is not an all day, all the time thing like you said,
Right.
but just knowing that and acknowledging that God, like, you're in the situation for a reason.
Yep.
And it produces hope and endurance and strength. And those are the things that I see in you. So I just wanted to encourage you in that too, because I think it's a really, really neat deal. And it's a great example for the kids and for me too.
Just real quick, I want to piggyback off of what he said. Each of you guys are in the situations that you're in for a reason. You're around the people that you're around for a reason. And that's why I said you have a shot to influence people because you're there for a reason. It's not a fluke. It's not some cosmic something. You're there for a reason. And make the most of it.